What is up, Crypt Nation? Bryce here coming at you. It's a really hot one today in San Diego, very out of the blue. And the markets are really hot too. You know, Bitcoin is flirting right up there with 20K. We've been tracking it like a hunter. It is one of those things that it's just, the selling pressure is just getting exhausted day after day after day. And the market is just holding nice and steady. We haven't seen any steep corrections. It's just been a really, really healthy, normal demand-driven market. And it's only a matter of time. Again, like I said yesterday in my market update, it's only a matter of time before we break out of 20K and altcoins follow. Sorry, I'm squinting. It is very bright. But here's one of the things I wanted to talk about today. I was just finishing up a little trading session, and I hopped on Twitter and I saw that Paul Tudor Jones was on Yahoo Finance. Paul Tudor Jones, one of the biggest, most successful hedge fund managers of all time, and $5.5 billion net worth. And he was talking about cryptocurrencies, and he goes, it is a fundamentally undervalued and underpriced market. He goes, I think it is this is a market that, it's a $500 billion market cap, and $500 billion. He goes, think about it. The global equities market is $90 trillion. Right? That's 180 times, I think, 180 times larger than the crypto market. And he goes, the crypto market is going to be as impactful, if not more impactful, than the internet. So, and he says, okay, so it's fundamentally undervalued. And he goes, not only does it have, that $90 trillion equities market to kind of compete with. There's some construction over here. That's kind of loud. But more importantly, he goes, God knows how large the market cap of all these outstanding fiat currencies are, right? He's basically saying that there is so much money in the ecosystem right now in crypto at only $500 billion has so much room for growth. And especially in this sort of quantitative easing environment that we're in right now. Easy credit, tons of money in the system, stimulus after stimulus after stimulus. So I love that point that he made. It's just, and then he goes, even in context of gold, right? Gold is still about a $9 to $10 trillion market cap. So if Bitcoin were to get that, and he says, Bitcoin will surpass gold as a store of value. It's much more, easy to use. It's portable. Nobody's going to be shipping around gold bars anymore. It's expensive to do that. So, and the other point he was trying to talk about, he goes, look, my kids, my grandkids, they're going to be using Bitcoin. They're going to be using Ethereum. They're going to be using these digital currencies. They're not going to be using gold. So I get it. So there's just so much money in the ecosystem that is going to be pouring into crypto, small market cap. The other person I wanted to talk about real quick was a guy by the name of Larry Fink, and he runs BlackRock. BlackRock's a $7.5 trillion asset manager, largest asset manager in the world. And they were actually more or less employed by the Fed in March to, do stock buybacks and all sorts of stuff, save the economy, right? BlackRock's one of the guys that, quote unquote, bailed out the economy in partnership with the central banks. They're the biggest, right? What they say is what sets the tone of the market. And Larry Fink, CEO of BlackRock, he was on the World Economic Forum, a panel with Mark Carney, who is the Chancellor of the Bank of England, the president. And the question came up about Bitcoin, and Larry Fink is like, Bitcoin is absolutely here to stay. Bitcoin is one of these things that is going to become a global industry. And you could just see the central banker, he just has his hands in his head. He's like, oh my God, I can't believe he's saying this. He's just like all embarrassed. And Larry Fink, he's just saying like this market is going to be massive. It's going to be global. It's not there yet. It's not as proven as we want it to be, but it's getting there. And so those are just two tidbits that just came out today. Two very prominent investors that are speaking in these massive forums, essentially, where big economists are listening. Big traders and big investors are listening, right? Retail, everybody's listening to what these folks say, and that is what sets the trend of the market. And so when I see Bitcoin, which is coiling, compressing price action wise right below its all-time high. And you're seeing no sell pressure come in and flood the market. We have this long-term massive uptrend. And the last point I want to make actually is on the advertising front. We've been seeing a massive influx of marketing dollars actually being poured into the crypto industry. So it's like, when we see these three sorts of, a confluence of trends of long-term investor growth, long-term investor confidence, and then long-term marketing budgets getting poured into the space, it just means that any short-term correction, any short-term fluctuation in price is going to get scooped up by the longer-term trend of buyers. So guys, that's all. That's the market update. I hope you enjoyed. Big time, big things coming.